Just as universal design changed architecture by making buildings accessible to everyone, Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, can change education by making learning accessible to all students. It's about designing lessons from the start that can support the wide variety of learners in every classroom. This is Universal Design for Learning in high school environmental science, empowering all learners through flexibility and choice. The first guideline of UDL is to provide multiple means of engagement. This is the why of learning. To do this, you want to encourage a choice among students whenever possible. Giving students options helps them feel a sense of ownership over their learning. It's important to get to know students, their backgrounds, their interests, and their goals, and find ways to connect learning to what they care about. You can offer choices in topics, the types of projects they create, or even the way they demonstrate understanding. Real-world connections also go a long way. When students can see how what they're learning applies to their lives outside the classroom, they are much more likely to stay motivated. And you might use games to create excitement, storytelling to make a lesson memorable, or current events to make learning feel timely and important. Students should also learn the value of effort and persistence. Learning isn't always easy, and when students get frustrated, we want them to have the skills to push through. One way to support this is by flexible grouping and encouraging collaboration. Working with different classmates exposes students to new ideas and different ways of thinking. You want to rotate the roles in group work, like having a leader, a recorder, or a timekeeper, a presenter, a researcher. Doing that keeps things fresh and gives each student a chance to build different skills. Another important part of engagement is being aware of students' emotional capacity. When students feel overwhelmed or disorganized, it becomes harder for them to engage meaningfully with a lesson. That's why it's so important to support executive function skills. You want to have goal setting with guidance. You want to support their planning and their strategizing, and you want to help students learn to manage materials and information. Using simple tools like checklists can help students break down tasks into manageable steps and stay focused. Short-term and long-term goals with students gives them a clear direction and something to work toward. You can also help students learn strategies for managing materials and tracking assignments so that organization doesn't become a barrier to learning.